today's video, guys, I went just a little bit crazy. I should say I went really crazy. I bought a ton of perfumes and I'm going to share those with you. If you're looking for a great place to shop online, fragrancenet.com has some great perfumes. They're 100% authentic and you get up to 80% off of retail, which is amazing. Plus, when you use my code, you get an additional 30% off of that. I'll put all the links in the description box. But anyway, let's get right on into this video because I'm super excited to share with you the perfumes that I bought. Okay, the first perfume I'm going to talk about is Oud by Swiss Arabian. This came out in 2016. It's considered to be an oriental sweet fragrance that is unisex. And if you've been wanting to get into oud and you're a beginner with this type of fragrance, this is the perfect one to try out. Now, a lot of people say this is very reminiscent of Lancome's Oud Bouquet. Now, I've not smelled that one, so I can't make that comparison. But if you're curious as to what oud is, it actually is found on the agar tree, which is in the Middle East. And what happens is a certain type of mold called the Euphoria parasitica attacks the tree, and then the response is it creates a very dark, dense, and fragrant resin to help protect itself, and that is what is oud. So I thought that was really interesting and I wanted to share that with you guys. Let's talk about the notes. The top notes, saffron. In the middle, there's rose and oud. In the base, there's praline, vanilla, and oud. Now this is a beautiful fragrance. I recommend this one for the fall winter because it is on the heavier side. When you first smell this, it's very overpowering. I actually really like the opening. And what happens is after a while, it really starts to soften up a little bit in the dry down. You get this gorgeous praline and vanilla. I think it's an all-around gorgeous fragrance. Now, as far as the longevity, it is really long-lasting. It is going to last you 8, 10 plus hours, super long on the clothes. As far as the projection, it is way past an arm's length. People will definitely notice that you're in a room wearing this in a good way. And then the sillage is very beautiful. It's exotic, it smells expensive. It's a very intriguing perfume. All right, the next perfume I'm going to talk about is Guerlain Intense by Guerlain. This came out in 2019 and is the flanker to the original Guerlain. This is a little bit stronger than the original. It definitely is going to have a better performance. The lavender is a little less in this one and it has more vanilla. Now, I owned this one a while back and I did a video on perfumes I had returned, and this actually was one I had returned, but I always kept thinking about it. I am glad that I repurchased this. I really, truly enjoy this perfume. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And the notes in this, in the top you've got lavender, mandarin orange, bergamot. In the middle there's iris, rose, jasmine, sambac, Tahitian vanilla, and Madagascar vanilla. In the base there's patchouli, benzoin, licorice, coumarin, Australian sandalwood, and white musk. I think this fragrance is great for year round. This is a great signature scent. I know that Jeremy Fragrance has talked about the original being the wife perfume only because the performance on that one was not that great, so it was closer to the skin, being more intimate. But this definitely has a lot more power to it. The longevity is better. It's about 6 hours, maybe more on my skin. The projection is past an arm's length, and then the sillage is really nice. It is very intoxicating. It smells somewhat exotic. It is intriguing. It has a little bit of a mature vibe to it, but in a good way. I love the dry down in this. You're going to get some licorice in there, which I think it always makes a fragrance very unique, especially with these types of notes in there. But an all-around really nice fragrance. So if you're looking for some more performance, definitely try the Intense version. All right, this next perfume is a lot of fun, and that's because of the bottle. And I am talking about Yes I Am by Cacharel. This came out in 2018, and I think this bottle is just absolutely adorable. And they made this obviously reminiscent of a lipstick, which is one of the most iconic items that women worldwide use. So they did a really nice job. The glass on this is very smoky. The fragrance inside is also a bit smoky. It has a beautiful fragrance. It is considered to be a sensual and modern, oriental, spicy type of perfume. Now, the notes in this, in the top you've got mandarin zest, sweet raspberry. In the middle there's ginger flower, jasmine, gardenia, and amber. And in the base you've got milk, sandalwood, and cardamom. Now this is definitely a fragrance that you can wear year round. The sprayer is right through the lipstick here. I keep wanting to take this off like it's a cap, but it's not. It's all one piece here. It does have a gorgeous fragrance to it. You definitely get a lot of that ginger flower when you first spray it. There's a little bit of that floral in there. You get a little bit of gardenia, some jasmine in there. And then obviously when it dries down, you get more of a creamy, milky, woodsy type of a scent, which is beautiful. However, as far as the performance, this is where it lets me down. As far as the longevity, 2 hours, maybe anywhere between 2 and 4 at best. And then the projection is when you first spray it, it's an arm's length, but within 30 minutes, it gets very close to the body. And then sillage, it is very pretty. However, if people are standing around you, unless they're super close to you, they're not going to be able to smell that. Now, if you're the type of person that doesn't mind having more of a skin scent, this might be something that you would love. And it might last longer on your skin because, like I said in the past, everybody's skin is so different. But it's an all-around really pretty scent. I just wish the performance was better on this one. All right, this next perfume is an absolute beauty, and I am talking about Midnight Rose by Lancôme. This came out in 2011, and this is such a romantic perfume. It is very bold. It is very beautiful, and I have to say the rose and raspberry combination in this is one of the best on the market. You've got this gorgeous rose and this almost jammy type of raspberry, and the combination is absolutely breathtaking. The notes in this, in the top you've got raspberry, rose absolute. In the middle you've got jasmine, peony, currant buds, and pink pepper. In the base you've got Virginian, cedar, musk, and vanilla. Now, this fragrance is definitely something for a special occasion, maybe in the fall, winter. I don't know if this would be a good perfume for every day. Certainly not office type of fragrance because it is such a strong fragrance. And when I say strong, I mean that in a good way. It definitely, you get your money's worth. It performs, it keeps performing. It is an all-around great perfume. Now, as far as the longevity, this is a long-lasting one. It's going to last you 8+ hours. The projection is great. It's past an arm's length, and it stays that way for the first couple of hours. It actually surrounds you in this bubble of this beautiful raspberry rose fragrance. The sillage, this trail is absolutely stunning. It's very seductive, it's intriguing, and it is very, very romantic. I do recommend this one. If you love raspberry, if you love roses, you are going to fall head over heels in love with Midnight Rose. All right, the next perfume that I got is Vie Belle Intense Ma by Lancôme. And guys, this came out this year, 2020, and it is the flanker to the original Vie Belle. This one is a little lighter, has some more freshness to it, some fruitiness. They've added some raspberry in this. They are similar but very different. So that is a good thing. So if you already own Vie Belle, the original, this one is definitely a lot different than the original. In the top, you've got raspberry accord. In the middle, there's jasmine absolute. In the base, there's red iris, red vanilla, and sandalwood. I like this fragrance. It does have a lot of creaminess to it. It's very powdery in the dry down. Yeah, you get a lot of raspberry when you first spray this. And of course the jasmine's in there, you've got the vanilla. Like I said, in the dry down, it is very sweet. As a matter of fact, I find this one to be sweeter than the original. The original is a little bit more grounded. It's got that patchouli in there, that vanilla. It is also sweet, but this one definitely tops it as far as sweetness, in my opinion. The longevity on this is really good. Like the original, it's very long lasting, 8+ hours. As far as projection, it's definitely past an arm's length. And then the sillage on this is beautiful. It's very powdery, very sugary. And I really, really, really like the raspberry in this as well. I think the combination, I think they've created an amazing flanker. So if you like La Vie Belle Original, but you're hesitant to get the Intense Ma, they are very different. So I think that you would be safe to bring this one into your collection because you're gonna love how this smells. Psst, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. You ready for this next perfume? This one is called Secret Obsession by Calvin Klein. This came out in 2008. And guys, this is such a great fragrance. I actually like this one way better than the original Obsession. Now, don't get me wrong, the original Obsession is very nice. I find it to be a little bit more spicy, especially in the opening. It does have a lovely dry down. Now, this one also has some spiciness to it, but it's not quite as spicy. And it's got a beautiful, beautiful dry down. Now this could be considered a unisex. It's targeted for women, but because of the notes in here, a man could definitely wear this fragrance. Top, there's exotic plum, nutmeg, rose de damask. Middle, you've got Egyptian jasmine, French orange blossom, and tuberose. In the base, there's cashmere and woods, Madagascar vanilla, burnt amber, and Australian sandalwood. Now this is a fragrance that you could definitely wear year-round if you wanted to. Because of the spiciness in it, the nutmeg, some people might find this to be more fall winter. It's all a matter of your preference. When you first spray it, you're getting that nutmeg and you're gonna get that plum, and I really like this combination. I don't get much of the rose in the opening, very, very little rose. It's just kind of overpowered with that juicy plum and that nutmeg. And then obviously as it starts to dry down, you're gonna get more of that woodsy, that sandalwood, that amber. It's just an all-around beautiful fragrance, and that vanilla in there. Now this one is also pretty good as far as the performance. Now longevity is about 6 hours on my skin, could be longer on yours. I've heard other people it lasts longer. As far as the projection, it's beautiful, it's past an arm's length, and then the trail that it leaves behind, it's sweet, it's seductive, and it's spicy, but it's not overly spicy. It has just that amount, the right amount of spiciness to it. So it is definitely an intriguing perfume. You're gonna get compliments on this one. If you have the original Obsession and you like that one, you've got to try this one. I think you're gonna be blown away with how good my Secret Obsession is. All right, the next perfume I got is C by Giorgio Armani. This came out in 2013, and I said, yes, 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 C. This is a great perfume. I love the way this perfume smells. It is a nice, strong floral. It's very feminine. Now the notes in this, in the top there's black currant, in the middle there's freesia and rose of Mai. In the base there is blonde wood. When I first smelled this, to me, I know this sounds a little bit crazy, I don't know if other people get this too, I get almost like an alcoholic beverage type of a smell, maybe champagne or a sweet wine, and that's just right at the opening. Obviously, as it starts to settle down a bit, that goes away, but I definitely get an alcoholic beverage type of a vibe. This would be great for year-round, a signature scent, great for a wedding if you're getting married. This is beautiful. The longevity on this is really nice. It's about 6+ hours. The projection is past an arm's length. And then the trail this leaves behind is absolutely breathtaking. It's bold, it's sophisticated, it's delicious, it's fruity, it's floral. I don't have a negative thing to say about this perfume. I think it's really, really nice. So if you've been kind of looking at Giorgio Armani, not knowing which one to go with, I know there's a lot of flankers to the original C. I would stick with this original one. I think it's fantastic. I have Decadence by Marc Jacobs. And this came out in 2015. And for those of you that watch my video on perfumes I returned, you're probably shaking your head at me going, this is one of the perfumes I actually did return. I know, I'm so bad, slap my hand. But I kept thinking about it, and I saw Sarah Harris had done a review on it, and it just sparked my interest again. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give it another chance. I got the smaller size. You guys would be proud of me because I know sometimes I can go get a little bit carried away and I get the really large sizes. I just got the 1 ounce in this. It's considered to be Marc Jacobs' very first mature type of scent in a good way. It's very sexy, it's very sophisticated. I know Jeremy Fragrance calls this the man-eater perfume, and I can see why, because, you know, it's kind of bold, it's in your face, and some people might find this perfume to be very polarizing. So if you are turned off by perfumes that are polarizing, you may not like this one. You have to be kind of in the right mindset to wear it. I think it's better for the winter and fall for sure. This is something that is just, in my opinion, way too heavy to wear spring and summer. The notes in this, in the top, you've got Italian plum, saffron, and iris. In the middle, there's Bulgarian rose, sambac jasmine, and orris root. In the base, there's liquid amber, vetiver, and papyrus wood. Yeah, it is strong. You definitely get a lot of plum in the opening. You get that saffron, and I think that's what can turn off some people because the saffron is so prominent in this. You know, and then as it dries down, it does get a little bit more creamy because you've got the vetiver, which is a little bit more masculine, but the liquid amber in this, the papyrus wood, it does have a very earthy but sweet feel to it. As far as the performance on this one, wow. And I mean wow. The longevity on this is 8 hours. Projection is way past an arm's length. People know you're coming way before you get there. And then the sillage, the trail on this is really nice. It's bold, it's confident, it's sexy, it's mature, it's intriguing. It's a really pretty fragrance. If you like bold, if you're that confident type of woman, you like to stand out, this is definitely a fragrance to look into. Because the next one I'm going to mention is Something Gold by Oscar de la Renta. This came out in 2006. This is a really nice fragrance. This is something that reminds me to be worn for a wedding. It's very romantic, it's sweet, and it's a little bit on the shy side, which is okay. Now the notes in this, on the top you've got citrus, zesty mandarin orange, bergamot, and red rose. In the middle there's slightly bitter orris root and sweet floral jasmine, and in the base you've got vanilla and patchouli. So a really nice combination of notes. I'm going to go ahead and spray this. Now what's interesting, I noticed on this bottle, and I don't know if it's a defect, but when you take the lid off, there's a loose part right here. As you can see, let me get closer. So I don't know if it's supposed to do that, but it looks like a gold ring to me. And I was playing around and it fits on the ring finger. So I don't know if that's symbolic. So very interesting. I think that's supposed to be that way. But the fragrance itself is a very pretty fragrance. It opens up, you do get a little bit of that citrus in there. You definitely get that mandarin, some bergamot. I don't really smell rose too much in this. I know it's in there, but it's hidden. And then obviously in the dry down, my favorite part is vanilla and patchouli. I love that. So it is a very pretty fragrance. As far as performance, on me, not so great. The longevity is 2 to 4 hours. But anyway, as far as the projection, it's an arm's length for the first 30 minutes, and then it really gets closer to the skin, and it does leave a nice trail within the first hour. But like I said, it does get very close to your skin. So again, if you're that type of person that likes more of an intimate scent, this is perfect. I like more bold, loud fragrances. So for me, I was a little bit let down on this one. However, this is great. I'll probably wear this at bedtime because it is a really pretty scent. So, okay, since we were just on the topic of weddings, this next perfume fits in perfectly. And I am talking about Saint by Kat Von D. This came out in 2017. And I have to point out how pretty this bottle is. This is definitely a very pretty scent. It almost has kind of that innocent feel to it. It's sweet, it's intoxicating. The notes in this, in the top you've got clary sage and mirabelle. In the middle you've got jasmine, almond blossom, lily of the valley, and in the base you've got vanilla, cedar, peach, and musk. Now the combination is so pretty in this. I really like how it smells. It's very floral. You do have, as it dries down, you get that peach in there, which is really nice. The opening, you get that sage, and it's very different, and it makes it very unique. It gives it the sweet, kind of innocent feel with the Mirabelle in there. But it's an all-around really nice fragrance. So if you like something that's a little bit more light floral, not super sweet, but just enough sweetness in there, this is definitely one that I would recommend for you. As far as the longevity, now this is on me, it's about maybe, if I'm lucky, I can get 4 hours on it. And then projection within the first hour, it's a little less than arm's length. And then the sillage it leaves behind is a very sweet, very soft, floral, intoxicating kind of a fragrance. So this is definitely something I could see a bride wearing because it does have a little bit of that innocence to it. It's a very nice perfume. If you have Sinner and you like that one, this is definitely another one to add to your collection because they are definitely polar opposites. So definitely check this one out. All right, next I have Euphoria by Calvin Klein, which came out in 2005. Now I really do like this fragrance. It's an exotic, fruity floral, it's luscious and luminous, and it's also a bit mysterious and very appealing. Now I love the way that this fragrance smells. I don't know if it's been reformulated. I know people have said that it's not as strong as it used to be, and I remember wearing it years ago, and I remember it lasting a really long time, but that was years and years ago. And obviously over time my skin has changed. So I don't know if it's been reformulated or I don't know if just, my skin has changed in the way it performs, but I'll get to that in a minute. In the top, you've got pomegranate, persimmon, and lush greens. In the middle, there's lotus blossom, champaka flower, and black orchid. In the base, there's liquid amber, black violet, cream, and mahogany. Now, I do really love the pomegranate in this perfume. I think it's very, very pretty. It's not as intense as I remember it to be. You get persimmon right off the bat, which is, I like that, and you get some lush green in there. I love that green note with the pomegranate. It smells very, very pretty, very fresh. As far as the longevity, this is where I'm having a hard time. On me, I've worn it a few times since I bought it. One day it only lasted 4 hours, another day it was 6. And I guess our skin is always changing. So I would say 4 to 6 hours is pretty good. As far as the projection, it's got a nice projection. It's about an arm's length. And then the sillage, the trail, is very pretty. It has a little bit of a powderiness to it. There's that amber in there. There's black violet. So it deepens a lot. And it has the blossoms from the florals in there, and it has some sweetness in there. Definitely not one of those fragrances that's overly sweet, but it has just the right amount of sweetness to it. Burberry Woman by Burberry. This is such a beautiful fragrance, and next to my Burberry Black, this has got to be one of my favorites for sure. I absolutely love this. It's simple, it's charming, it's like a fruity overdose in a good way. It's got this jammy feel to it, and it's also very sophisticated and elegant and soft. Now the notes in this, on the top you've got peach, apricot, cool pear, and black currant. In the middle there's clear and sharp notes of jasmine, sandalwood, and cedar, and in the base you've got musk and vanilla. Now I really do like the way that this fragrance smells. It kind of reminds me of a warm pie with the apricot in there and that warm crust, that vanilla. It's just absolutely mouth-watering and intoxicating. And you do get that right off of the bat. You get that pear and the apricot and the peach. And then there's also that black currant that gives it a little bit of a unique twist in there. And as it starts to dry down, I love vanilla and musk. And you've got that sandalwood in there. Now, as far as longevity, this one is pretty good. It's about 6 hours on me. Projections past an arm's length for the first hour or so, and then it comes a little closer to the body, but people around you are still going to be able to smell it. And then as far as the sillage, it's very sweet, soft, and alluring. So if you have not tried this one and you like Burberry, I think you would be really surprised at how beautiful and soft this fragrance is, and it definitely is a compliment getter, one to look into. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. I know it was kind of long. There were a lot of perfumes and your head's probably spinning as mine is too. So if there is a particular perfume that you really like and you would like me to do a more detailed review on, definitely comment that down below. I'm happy to read your comments and do reviews on anything that you might suggest. Thank you so much for spending your day with me. Enjoy the rest of your day and stay beautiful. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know the next time that I upload. See you soon.